Wow, what a lovely introduction. Thank you. I feel so welcomed, and I welcome all of you for being here and bringing your curious minds to this presentation today. Really honored, really honored. It is a privilege to be able to share in this space. I find meditation to be super sacred. It's this intimate relationship with oneself and one's experience of the world. So I'm excited to dive in and give you guys an introduction here to meditation, as well as finish with a guided meditation. And I'm about to share my screen here. And as I mentioned before, if at any time you have questions or you feel like sharing a story, please don't hesitate. Super flexible, super open, love surprise. So I should be careful with that, especially with the internet stuff, I guess. But we'll just go with the flow, okay? So we are going to talk about, to start with, intention setting. And we'll go over what meditation is, who this is for, different types of meditation, the key elements for a true experience, benefits, ways to implement your own practice, and we'll, like I said, end with a guided meditation. Most importantly, we are going through some major changes. A lot of unknown, and in that unknown, it's in our inherent nature to be afraid of that. We may not identify it with fear, but anxiety, worry, depression, loss, and just this like tension, this tightness, this stress. And meditation allows us this space to create space to raise awareness, so that we can navigate the unknown and the change. So I really just want you to walk away with some tools for peace and stability, and ways to cultivate your own personal well-being. And that's going to translate through every aspect of your life. And what I love about meditation too, and this was kind of like a find for me through my own personal journey of discovering how powerful the heart is, and how we gain access to our inner resources, this universal intelligence that is filled with energy and information. And that is really essential right now. When we're not sure what's coming, that we can rely on our inner resources to guide us, to show us, and to connect with this greater sense of peace and well-being, and know we're going to be okay. So we begin with intention, and if this is a really interesting quote by Joseph Goldstein from Insight Meditation. Very powerful, very true. If we try to practice meditation without the foundation of goodwill to ourselves and others, it's like trying to row across a river without first untying the boat. Our efforts, no matter how strenuous, will not bear fruit. We need to practice and refine our ability to live honestly and with integrity. And so really just right now, really kind of bringing that curiosity of, why are you here? So many times we do things because we think we should, or we were told to, or there's this expectation. And in that itself, you're inviting the practice of mindfulness and presence of, what is this thing about meditation that's calling my attention? What is it I truly want to experience within myself? And so setting that kind of intention for today is going to also help you kind of pull out those pieces, those nuggets that are going to work for you. So what is meditation? And these are just a few of kind of my examples: focused attention without judgment, presence, soul engagement. Focused attention without judgment. Seems so simple, right? When we think about meditation, we often kind of make it complicated, like, am I doing it right? but even just the idea or the invitation to engage and be present is part of that practice. Meditation is commonly defined as deliberate training of attention that awakens us beyond the conditioned mind and habitual thinking and reveals our true nature. So when we talk about the mind, there are actually three levels: the conscious, subconscious, and the superconscious mind. And the habitual thinking is what happens with the unconscious mind, the parts that we're not aware of. Sigmund Freud came up with the iceberg theory. And if you can imagine this, an iceberg, okay, you see the top part of that iceberg, that's 5% of your conscious mind. That's how much we use that we're aware of. The subconscious mind is what's underneath that water. It's hidden, it's in the shadows, it's in the depths. 95% of our programming, our choices that we make every day, are from that conditioned mind and the habitual thinking. So automatic. It's like when you put your clothes on, is it the left foot or the right foot? You brush your teeth with the left hand, right hand, and when we get in the car to drive, everything's so automatic, right? So if we want to gain access to those old programs, we do that through mindfulness and meditation, expanding our awareness from a higher mind. I think Einstein said once, you can't solve a problem from the same level of mind that created it. And so it's really an opportunity to grow a deeper, more intimate relationship with your mind and this experience of consciousness. Because we are all conscious beings, right? Spiritual beings having a human experience. So the oldest documented evidence dates back to 5,000 to 3,500 BC in India. And the early development of meditation was the 6th and 5th century BC. And this expanded into Europe and America in the 18th and 19th century. So this has been around. And lots of wisdom in this practice. And who is it for? Who might you guess meditation is for? Anybody who's willing, anybody who's open, anybody who feels inspired or moved or is, curious. There are countless contemplative practices, devotional practices, concentration subjects, mantras, visualizations, energy trainings, and inner listening practices to foster awakening, understanding, and love. And at the core of it all, that's what we really want, right? We want this deeper connection with who we really are. So out of all of those types of meditations, in my background, I got started.
Yeah, it's free.
Tai Chi and then moved into mindfulness meditation, and then just kind of explored a lot of other modalities. But the key elements, there's some commonalities with any type of meditation. And number one is the sincerity with this relationship with yourself of what is this about meditation that you want to connect with, that you want to engage with, a genuine curiosity, keeping a beginner's mind. So just like a child, just in it to explore. That's kind of what I was inviting as I came into this presentation, a beginner's mind, the unknown, but being open to whatever arises. And that's really what we do in meditation. Number two, posture and breathing. So there are different forms: seated, standing, walking, movement, dance. I love intuitive dance or just mindful movement, just letting it go, letting it flow. And the breath is really our anchor. It's our connection to the physical, our body, and our spiritual, like the mental, the mind. So the breath is that anchor, that connection that allows us a space to experience both all the same. Number three is focus. Coming back to kind of that intention of focus, and the implementation practice of it. If we talk about it, not much is going to change, but if we experience it, we bring awareness to it, as you all are, you're here today, so obviously it's on your mind and in your heart. What are the benefits? Before we get into what I'm going to say, I just want you to kind of think about what might be the benefits. What have you heard about meditation? Benefits of that. So many, studies have been done now to prove that. And I have something coming up for you from the HeartMath Institute, which is really cool. But think about that. I think what comes to mind first is just peace, and connection, stress relief, right? So this could be really influential and beneficial for today, what we're doing today. But expanded awareness, that gives us the space to gain insight, clarity, deepen our understanding, and that leads to forgiveness, that leads to acceptance, to truth, and with all of that is wisdom. Self-regulation. So oftentimes, this is really apparent in relationships, especially those closest to us. And I know we're all in quarantine right now. So maybe this is an opportunity, an invitation for us to really get clear about what is like causing the tension. Where's that coming from? And in our relationships, it's very easy, especially when we're in tight spaces. It's almost like, we're doing our own little inner retreat. We're forced to, though. But with the self-regulation, that is where you get to make an empowered choice. You get to, recognize, notice these old patternings. So if you are repeatedly getting triggered, let's say with a loved one, or maybe a colleague, or maybe your finances, or where you live, whatever that might be, what is that maybe reflecting back to you? You say, oh, I see you. I'm noticing this. How do I want to show up? So that creates the opportunity for conscious change. Mental clarity, again, relationships, mental and physical health. So it's been shown that, we can actually cultivate this energy of peace and coherency, which influences not only our thoughts, our mind, but our physicality, our biochemistry, our cells, our DNA. So you have the opportunity to harmonize your body system, your mental body, emotional body, physical body, spiritual body. Emotional stability. When we practice meditation, oftentimes things show up. And we may not even know where they come from. We don't have to. It's about the experience of it. But sometimes they can be uncomfortable. And in the practice of meditation, you get to be with that, using the tools of the breath, of knowing that, these things shall pass. Emotions are kind of equivalent to the element of water. So the rising and the falling, the coming and the going, and just knowing that. And sometimes, like if you've ever just had an outburst of emotions, which may be super heightened right now, there's so much loss and so much grief being experienced that just the collective energetic relationship is so chaotic and unstable that you can sense and pick that up too. So if you feel like you're all over the place, just know it's okay. And that you have tools to be with that and to utilize your breath to cultivate peace and stability in the midst of change. Spiritual well-being. So this is that deeper connection of knowing that there's a greater force. You may call it the God force, or the divine mind, or universal intelligence, the quantum field, whatever you want to call it, totally okay. But there's this interconnectedness, this grand kind of experience that you get to connect with on a soul level, and know that you are safe, you are protected, you are guided, and you are loved. I love this quote by Tai Hui. Harmonize with the rhythms of wholeness, and miracles will unfold naturally. And that wholeness is a return to our true nature, which is already within us. And that gateway, the portal to that is through mindfulness and meditation. Suffering is due to our disconnection with the inner soul. Meditation is establishing that connection. Amit Ray said that. And really, it's more than a connection because we're already connected. It's about bringing awareness and engaging, bringing the intention and actively engaging, actively experiencing yourself, participating in this life. And our body's innate wisdom is just so amazing to me. I am fascinated with this, with the mind, with the body, with the heart, and how it's all interconnected. And I really wanted to share this video with you guys from the HeartMath Institute. They have done amazing research, and I really highly recommend you guys check out their website. They even have a free course at this time for those who want to kind of start a practice of their own or learn more about this. But some interesting facts here that they have discovered. So the human heart actually sends more information to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. What does that mean for us as meditators? We can access this amazing heart energy, and there's a reason for that. It is the intersection of peace and power and the gateway to our intuition. And they have studied the emotions of the heart. Positive emotions create physiological benefits in your body. So much so that you can change your health and your choices. And when we make choices, they influence our actions. And our actions influence our experience of life, our outcomes, what we actually physicalize in this life. So if there's something off that you want to change, you can do that energetically and through this practice of mindfulness and meditation. So, can we go ahead and play that video?
As you're getting ready to do that, Michelle, I just would like to comment on my coaching practice. I use HeartMath and have been able to witness the transformational power of tuning into your heart. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Anxiety and overwhelm are really out of hand. And a lot of this is due to so much change that's happening. And the way our brains work, we don't like change. Humans do not like change, especially unexpected change or change that we're not in control of. And as it turns out, one of the most effective ways to really reduce stress and anxiety and even feelings of overwhelm is to learn how to access the intelligence of the heart and shift the rhythms of the heart, which sends a different neural message to the brain. So one aspect of our research is really focused on developing simple, practical, user-friendly tools and techniques that allow people to really manage their stress. So a lot of people, probably even today, if you think about it, have had a situation where you were being told to do something or you wanted something, but there was a deeper sense or a deeper feeling that it's probably not the best choice. That's what I mean by that lack of alignment. And that can really be a huge source of stress for people until they learn how to really get the alignment between the heart and brain, which is where coherence comes in. That's when the heart, mind, and emotions are aligned and working together harmoniously. Our basic research done here at the HeartMath Research Center focused more on the physiology of how the heart and brain communicate. Interestingly, a lot of people are surprised to learn that the heart sends more information through the nervous system to the brain than the other way around. That sounds like some new discovery, but it's not. This has actually been known since the late 1800s. It's basic physiology. But this is important because the quality of these signals sent from the heart to the brain have profound effects on brain function, our mental clarity, even our emotional experience. So the brain is largely interpreting the signals from the heart to create how we feel. So this is why we focus on the heart so much, because if you can shift the rhythms of the heart, you can quickly improve brain function, reduce feelings of anxiety, stress, overwhelm, and so on. But it takes a different doorway, the heart. So the HeartMath tools and techniques are really designed to shift the rhythms of the heart, which changes the ascending information from the heart to the brain, which is absolutely necessary in order to establish a new baseline. And without establishing a new baseline, we really can't, it's impossible to have sustained change or improvements in our health and our emotional experience. So when we get our systems coherent and have the alignment between heart and brain, that's really when we access that deeper intuition that we have within, inner guidance. So we have a new sense of clarity in a lot of decisions that can seem complex otherwise.
All right, Michelle, if you want to start sharing your screen again, thank you so much for that.
Sure. Thank you for playing that for me. Appreciate it. So I'll be curious to hear what you guys thought of that video, what kind of sunk in, resonated with you, especially now during this major pandemic, when we're being called to, resource this intuitive guidance and go inward now to discover our own true solutions for ourselves and our well-being. So how can we start to implement these practices? Pema Chodron said, in practicing meditation, we're not trying to live up to some kind of ideal, quite the opposite. We're just being with our experience, whatever it is. So HeartMath came up with this heart coherency practice. And three simple steps so that you can start to do this on your own if you want to try it. And I always say, people can give suggestions all they want, but to actually go play with it and experience it and see what your true experience is, that's when it's really going to click for you. And so the first step in that is to breathe through the heart, 5 count in, 5 count out. And it helps to actually place your hand on your heart to bring attention and awareness and contact with that. And then generating the feelings of gratitude, care, appreciation, and love. And really focused on feeling it from the heart space. And so there's a difference of thinking it, right, and feeling it. So moving into the body to really feel and sense. And we're going to practice this in our guided meditation towards the end. And only 3 minutes a day. I mean, you can do 1 minute a day if you're new to it and you're just trying to get into practice. And my invitation for all of you who are here, who are listening, this was an inspired share, is a 30-day invitation to explore, experience, and play and discover this for yourself. So 30 days, 3 minutes or more each day to practice. 5 count in, 5 count out of the breath, or whatever. If 5 feels too long, you can do a 2 count. But just bringing that kind of gentle awareness and that steady rhythm, the focus of the breath, and just really focused on generating these positive feelings of gratitude, care, appreciation, and love. So what do you guys think? Can you get a thumbs up? Okay. There are so many ways to integrate this. And you may already be practicing and not realizing it, but now we're going to bring awareness to those practices that you're doing. Breathing, we talked about that as a common anchor, right? So, and you know how it feels if you're stressed or something happens, what happens? We go into that fight, flight, freeze facade, right? So we go into that stress mode and our body restricts, it gets tight, and it's really doesn't feel good. And so the breath invites us to create space and relax, right? So if you ever sense like yourself gripping or being really tight, you can just take a couple deep breaths and wow, whew, just 3 breaths, 5 breaths will do it. And it instantly connects, sends those signals to your brain that you're not being threatened. So you no longer have to go into that protective mode. Really powerful, super simple, really powerful. Mindful eating, I love doing this with clients. So have your food and just like really appreciate everything about it, what you put into it, the colors, the vibrancy of the food, the energy of the food, and feeling it, eating with your hands, and then tasting it and really chewing it all till it's liquid, and then into your body, swelling all the way, and just feeling sense into that. Slow down, no TV, no music, you and your food, maybe you and your company, and just really engage with this nutrient dense food that is feeding and fueling your life. Amazing. In the shower, this is where like inspiration hits me. I'm like in the shower, I'm like, oh yeah, like I remember that. And also like walks in nature. The more you can be in nature, the more you tune into your true nature. And if you can try that without your cell phone, you may even start to notice like tingling in your hands and your feet as the dissonance, the static starts to release, and you start to harmonize with the nature that's around you. That's why like people, when they go on vacation, they tend to sleep a lot, because they're just like, oh, they're decompressing. All the dissonance is dissipating. Noticing body sensations. Maybe you're in a heated conversation. Feel the heat. I'm noticing the heat right now. Wow, I'm really feeling it in my face. Before I got on the call, I was sensing my heartbeat. I was like, ooh, I really care about this presentation. I hear you, I feel you. So just making that connection. It's almost like you're talking to your child. So I think of when we go over the mind, the conscious, subconscious, superconscious. Conscious mind is like the mother or the parent. Subconscious is like the child. And the child, sometimes when they don't have a container, they just run on these old programs. They can instigate these feelings of fear and insecurity. So when we give them attention, when we're talking to ourselves here, but it's just this nurturing, feminine kind of energy that's healing and expansive. Imagery, movement. There's so many ways to incorporate mindfulness and meditation, just really being engaged. So thinking about, when do you lose track of time? When do you feel fully engaged? Gratitude, matters of the heart, loving kindness, metta, forgiveness, compassion, peace and coherency. All of these are integrative ways to connect with your true nature and begin to cultivate your own practice. And that's really kind of the heart of it, is setting the intention to practice for whatever is near and dear to your heart, whatever is feeling inspired for you, whatever is moving you to kind of explore this path. And there's so many tools out there. So, the guided meditation I'm doing with you today, if it doesn't resonate, there's so many other options. So keep trying other ways and see what works for you. And that's really what matters, right? So there is no right or wrong. So how do you guys feel about doing a little guided meditation? Yeah? Are we doing on time? I know, I totally get into this. I could go on. We're doing okay?
I think we're good. It's 12:34. I think we have about 10 minutes for guided meditation would be great.
Perfect. Okay, great. Great. So wherever you are seated or lying down. If you're in a chair, Just finding a comfortable position, and feel free to shift and move throughout if you need to, adjust as you need to. You can bring awareness to that. I'm moving my shoulder, boom. And if you'd like, gently just close your eyes. Bringing the intention to your breath. Just sensing here for a moment what's alive inside you right now. Taking a deep breath here, inhaling together, filling the lungs. And with the out breath, slowly exhaling, aware of letting go. Another full deep breath in, filling the lungs and the chest. And again, slowly releasing, letting go. Continuing with this breath, noticing the fullness, and the letting go. And returning now to a natural rhythm, natural cycle of your breath. Feel the attention resting with the breath. So as the breath comes in, there's a kind of opening to receive. And with the out breath, a gentle releasing and letting go. And just notice the presence that's here today. A sense of here-ness. As if we're all gathered here in one room. Let your senses be awake. So there's a receptivity of the sounds that are here. Maybe my voice as it comes and goes. Inward listening. Listening to the heart. And just sensing whatever mood or sensation might be present. The heart is open, closed, tender. Deepening the listening and sensing. What longing is there in your heart? What brings you here today? Really sensing what matters to you and feeling us here collectively. with this shared aspiration that our time together may be of service of healing, connection, support. Love. For each other. Our families and colleagues. And our world. Scanning through the body, noticing the sensations, and the aliveness that's moving through you, an inward attention. You might let there be an openness to the chest. And just a loosening down through the torso, softening the belly. Letting the next breath be received in the torso. Maybe breathing with the whole body. Where the attention goes, energy flows. Noticing the aliveness. You might be aware again of vibration or tingling. Allowing it, pleasant or unpleasant. Letting this whole life flow, dancing as it is in awareness. The body lives in the present moment, filled with awareness. Just be here. You might find it helpful to feel the inflow and outflow of the breath, the nostrils, or the rising and falling sensations of the chest. Expanding or deflating of the abdomen. Feeling this life breath in the foreground, still aware of this whole field of aliveness. You may discover the mind has drifted. That is the habit of the mind to do. It doesn't matter how far the mind has traveled, you can begin fresh in this moment. You can see this moment with loving presence by simply coming back gently with interest and care, feeling your way back into this life that's right here. With this breath, and this one. Bringing a relaxed wakefulness of this changing flow of experience. And as we come to an end, bringing awareness to your heart, and you can place your hand on your heart if you'd like. And breathing through that heart space now as if it were a second lung. With focused attention, really generating, feeling the energy of gratitude, of care and appreciation. Maybe somebody you deeply care about comes to mind, or a pet, a memory. Or simply gratitude for being alive. Allowing that energy to fill you and saturate your entire being. Feeling that energy moving into your cells, into your organs, your muscles, your brain. Expanding it now to encompass your whole body. Sensing and feeling that gratitude and care. Really engaged with it. This is your true nature. And I'm going to invite you to open your eyes with this energy and just kind of look around the room. Notice what you notice. And the invitation to carry this energy with you throughout your day and throughout your week. And as you navigate these uncertain times, just know that you are safe, you are guided, you are protected, and you are loved. Thank you. Thank you for your practice. And I think I went over a little bit, but I did want to share a couple resources with you guys. We can leave that up if you want. And then if anybody had any questions, we can move into that as well. Thank you. But I do want to say the Rise Wellbeing Center does offer Monday night regular Zoom meditation, 1 hour, 7 to 8 o'clock. If you guys are interested in joining, you can sign up either through the website, risewellbeing.center, or on Meetup. You can go there and then you'll get an access link to to the class. But Heart Math right now, like I said, is having this free class, so you can join their experience, and then additional resources there if you want to look further. So